Welcome everyone to 55 and 5, the only show on YouTube where two men are crazy enough to go through the entire 1955 Parkhurst Wrestling trading card set, primarily released in Canada and the upper United States, one card at a time out of 121.
The upper United States.
The Northeast. We've been running through a bunch of these at a time. If you watch the last 10, I'm in the same outfit Cary is too. We're doing them all in the same night, but we're having a lot of fun. This is Cary. We're doing 5-minute history lessons on some of the names that are featured, all the names that are featured in this set. Cary, this man has a last name that you will recognize. My hint is trust your instincts.
Okay.
All right, set the timer.
Can't get more obscure than Tor Morgan. Or maybe we can.
Let's take a look at this well-dressed man. There you see him. Cary, tell us everything you know about Warren Bockwinkel.
Well, we certainly know about Nick Bockwinkel.
Trust your gut.
It must be his dad.
Sure is, yep.
And honestly, call me a fool not knowing my stuff, but I do not remember reference to Nick Bockwinkel's father. Mm-hmm. Maybe I have, and I never, it just never registered. But from the way the photo looks, it makes him look like he's more an executive,
right,
or a promoter, or someone behind the scenes. So please grace us with a tutorial on Warren Bockwinkel.
Sure, and as you can see on this note, you might expect more out of Nick Bockwinkel's father. There's not a whole lot. I mean, there's a lot of results, but sometimes those are helpful, sometimes there's not. Some interesting tidbits. Opening match guy early on in his career. He was called the St. Louis Flash. You want to wager who some of his earliest matches, including his first recorded match that we know exists, was
what
against?
Year?
34. Think about St. Louis. Big names of St. Louis. I don't want to say the biggest. The shooter, a real good shooter. A real good hooker, wink, wink. Luthez, you bet. And he started out his career. It's interesting to think of Luthez as an opening match guy when we know he'd be a great champion and he'd be a great headliner. That was, some of his biggest, earliest matches. Later in his career, though, he homesteads a lot in St. Louis. He's kind of a St. Louis name for a while. Later in his career, the biggest feud comes in L.A. And he teams with his son, Nick, comes out of retirement, wrestles from 34 to 55, comes out of retirement. Do you know who they feuded with?
The Sharp in L.A.?
Yeah.
Is it names I might know?
You might. They have we didn't get to it yet. They have the card where they're chopping the wood on each other's heads.
The Sharp brothers?
No. They are brothers.
Oh, darn it. The Vachons weren't around
then.
The
Togo brothers.
The Togo brothers,
yeah. And he comes out of retirement to have these matches with his son, Nick. He had gotten Nick a gig in Hawaii. Nick starts to wrestle in Hawaii, comes back. They team together, and then Nick's off to the races shortly thereafter.
One of my biggest regrets, we were doing one of the LA conventions with High Spots. This is 2009 and 10-ish. And Bruno was there, who I had known.
Right.
And Stan Hansen was there. A lot of guys were there. But where does the regret come in? Nick Bockwinkel, who I had never met, and he had never come to Ring of Honor, was having it was he and Bruno having a conversation. It was like breakfast-ish time. And I so badly wanted to go up and just say hello and lean on Bruno, because at least maybe Bruno will remember me from Ring of Honor.
Sure, I'm sure he will.
But I just wanted to be respectful. Yeah. And I didn't. But I didn't know about Warren Bockwinkel, and that's why this game is fun. It's sometimes, I don't know if humiliating is the right word, but he didn't get a lot of publicity as far as his father. When do you have a thing of when he might have passed away?
86.
Huh.
So he's 1911 to 1986.
Interesting. I'll have to ask Kevin Sullivan and Luke about him because I would imagine they might know about him unless he just went behind the scenes.
Yeah. It looks entirely possible that he may become maybe office in St. Louis. It looks like he may have been there or maybe Los Angeles because that's kind of where things wound up. But Warren Bockwinkel, interesting name and misspelled on the card. Again, yeah. This is a second one in the last couple that's misspelled. The quality control's great in this set. But we were talking about this. You couldn't just hop on the internet like I did and looked up all this stuff. You couldn't even go to a library necessarily.
Now, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's misspelled.
Get me the dunce cap, but what I see Warren.
Warren's correct.
And
Bockwinkel is E-L.
Okay.
They have it L-E, yeah.
Okay.
So,
well, God bless him. And
very nice green suit he's got.
Beautiful green suit and the nice handkerchief.
The 3-point style. That's the way Bobby Cruz always tries to do it, and then he messes up, and I have to make it a football size. I do fold it like a paper football.
Well, the handkerchief's become a thing of the past.
But your Uncle Gunny had one.
Yeah,
seems like a handkerchief guy.
Well, all men did. Your grandfather did.
Yeah. Absolutely. The great Don Riccaboni.
And even on just a regular day.
Yeah,
you would have a handkerchief. I remember my father saying, I'd take my shirt, rub it in my nose. Jesus Christ, why don't you have a handkerchief? But Warren did.
And it looks like he put it to good use. So that's been this episode of 55 and 5. Cary, I think we're going to have some fun with these next couple. But this has been a good week so far. Getting some names, having some fun. And we appreciate you being along for the ride. Join us here on YouTube. So for Cary, for AJ, our producer, I'm Ian Riccaboni. Check us out, 55and5.com for all of these videos. Check us out on adfreeshows.com where you can see the poster of the week. And Last Stop Penn Station, great podcast, sex, drugs, rock and roll, Ring of Honor, you name it, it's there. So for all your Ian and Cary needs, stay right here, keep it locked in. Thanks, everybody.